The Baltimore Ravens are about to face a storm behind the scenes, and the name of the game is Kyle Hamilton. The contract of the team's best safety is about to blow up, and a decision they make now could change everything on defense for years to come. Will the Ravens make the right choice and keep their star, or will they let a unique opportunity slip away? Stay with me until the end, and I'll reveal all the details of this blazing negotiation. Few players in the NFL reach all-pro level so early in their careers, and even fewer do it with a contract as affordable as Kyle Hamilton's. Since being selected in the first round of the 2022 draft, the Ravens safety has delivered elite performances while costing less than $5 million per year against the team's salary cap. With 2 All-Pro selections in 3 seasons, including a first-team nod in 2023, Hamilton quickly became one of the league's biggest bargains. This cost-effectiveness isn't just an accounting advantage. It allowed the Ravens to invest in other parts of the roster without sacrificing defensive quality. With Hamilton leading the secondary, Baltimore's defense became one of the NFL's most dominant units, especially during the final stretch of the 2023 season. All this with a player who, on paper, had a rookie contract financial impact typical of a rotational player. This proves how draft hits can change the entire fate of a franchise. Hamilton's outstanding production at such a low cost only highlights the urgency to reward him soon. The current contract structure was a temporary gift for the Ravens, but the salary cap reality will shift, especially for a player who is not only technically efficient but also brings leadership, tactical intelligence, and versatility on the field. He's the kind of athlete who elevates his teammates' level regardless of the opponent or game situation. However, this luxury contract period is numbered, and the numbers clearly show it. Starting in 2026, Hamilton will cost over $18 million with the activation of the rookie contract's 5th-year option, forcing the Ravens to make important decisions now. The cost control window the Ravens enjoyed with Hamilton was a rare privilege but has an expiration date. In 2026, the rookie contract enters its 5th year, with a salary fixed above $18 million. This is a significant jump that completely changes Hamilton's impact on the team's payroll. Even if his on-field performance remains at the highest level, the current structure stops being advantageous, and any future moves will require more complex financial adjustments by the franchise. The 5th-year option is a common tool for teams picking players in the first draft round. By activating this clause, Baltimore secured more time to plan an extension, but also made the budget increase inevitable. Hamilton will shift from a high-performance, low-investment asset to an expensive centerpiece, which is fair considering all he delivers. But in practice, this directly affects how the team can build its roster around him. When a player occupies such a large portion of the salary cap, the margins for error shrink drastically. The franchise needs absolute certainty that the investment will yield not only stats, but decisive impact on wins, and, especially, playoffs. In Hamilton's case, there is no doubt about that. He has already shown maturity, versatility, and the ability to influence games at the most critical moments. And this is exactly why the Ravens have to act before the contract becomes an irreversible burden. This financial scenario makes the extension urgent and strategic. If Baltimore wants to keep the defensive core solid and competitive, Hamilton's extension must be treated as a top priority. The NFL market doesn't forgive elite talents. When a player like Hamilton stands out so clearly, a massive extension is not only expected but inevitable. He's already positioned to become the highest-paid safety in the league, surpassing the current $21.5 million per season mark. That's the price of defensive excellence, and the Ravens know not paying it risks losing one of the franchise's most valuable pillars. The justification for this investment goes far beyond numbers. Hamilton combines tactical intelligence with physical explosiveness, game reading with aggressiveness, and refined technique with positional versatility. He can line up as free safety, strong safety, slot corner, or even near the line of scrimmage. This adaptability makes the Ravens' defense unpredictable and harder to exploit. Players like him are rare, and when they appear, you don't hesitate. You pay. Moreover, extending Hamilton now, before the 2026 financial spike, could give a team room to spread the impact over several years. It's a forward-looking move many smart front offices make to avoid future cap crunches. Baltimore with a history of responsible management and long-term planning, seems to be preparing exactly for this kind of move. Being proactive now can prevent Hamilton from becoming a financial burden later. Even if the contract becomes the largest ever for the position, it will reflect the new market reality. Hamilton's valuation is already set, and analysts like CBS Sports' Tyler Sullivan see him not only as a rare talent, but the most logical choice to be the team's next big investment.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
The specialized media has made it clear. There is no other name on the Ravens roster that approaches the urgency and importance of Kyle Hamilton when it comes to contract extension. Tyler Sullivan, from CBS Sports, made it clear that the safety is the front office's #1 priority. And he's right. Hamilton is at the peak of his development curve and still has room to grow. Ignoring this window would be a serious planning mistake. Sullivan's assessment aligns with what the numbers themselves indicate. In 2023, Hamilton was one of the main drivers behind the team's defensive surge late in the regular season. He not only made decisive plays, but raised a collective level of a defense that began to dominate the passing game and control the pace of matches. For a franchise that historically builds its identity through defense, there's no more strategic value than protecting the player who commands that structure on the field. This kind of external analysis also serves as a market gauge. If the specialized media unanimously recognizes Hamilton's value, other teams do as well. That means the extension takes too long or encounters obstacles. There will be immediate external pressure and speculation about his future. Time, in this case, is not neutral. Each week without progress on a deal can create noise and unnecessary uncertainty. With support from the media, the fans, and his teammates, Hamilton becomes not only the logical priority, but the only viable choice. And his attitude throughout only reinforces why he is seen as a leader, even before having his contract renewed. Despite the expectations surrounding his renewal, Kyle Hamilton has shown a surprisingly mature attitude. In a recent interview, he said he understands the franchise's current focus on the draft and other structural matters. No public pressure, no demands for deadlines, no tension. For such a young player, this is a clear demonstration of emotional balance and confidence in his own value. This patience does not mean lack of ambition. Hamilton knows he will be rewarded. The question is when. But by choosing not to pressure the front office or create controversy, he conveys stability and gains even more respect inside the locker room. This behavior strengthens his role as a key defensive leader, which goes far beyond tackles and interceptions. The Ravens have not only a great athlete in their hands, but also a professional with an exemplary attitude. Furthermore, by avoiding haste, Hamilton allows negotiations to be strategic and unhurried. This is important both for the player and the franchise. A carefully built agreement tends to be more advantageous for both sides, with well-defined clauses, intelligently distributed bonuses, and room for future financial planning. He is playing the off-field game with the same precision he shows on the field. This balance between performance, personality, and management intelligence is rare and valuable. That is why, when the extension comes, it will not only be a reward but the foundation of the Ravens' defense for many years to come. Kyle Hamilton has already proven to be fundamental for the Ravens, and extending his contract is not only necessary, it is urgent for the team's future. What is at stake goes far beyond the numbers. It is about maintaining defensive strength and ensuring the Ravens remain competitive for years to come. With the pressure mounting and the clock ticking, this decision will impact the entire upcoming season. Do you think the Ravens will make the right choice and invest heavily to keep Hamilton, or could they end up losing one of the best players in the league? Share your opinion in the comments.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.